Morning thoughts in the UK, mate. And what better intro than a Frosty Dash? Brilliant. Classic UK fashion. Welcome. We are live and direct. Morning thoughts in the UK in the whip, mate. This is where we're at. A little pan around here. Nonetheless. Pretty classic stuff, nonetheless. I want to share something with you that I've recently just unlocked, like today or yesterday, that's completely changed my entire perspective on this certain niche. So I don't know about you, but I always been watching content from not so much recently, but over the past few years, like E-Man, kickboxer guy. I don't want to say his name, was fucking bait nowadays. I don't even know if it is, but I just can't be bothered for the hassle. Kickboxer bloke, bald guy, you know what I'm saying? And all these other guys that are basically just in the info space. If you guys don't know what the info space is, it's like coaching, courses, groups and shit like that. So these guys that I watch, so like Luke Belmar, E-Man, kickboxer bloke, who else? There's got to be some other people littered in there, but these guys are in the info space. They usually thrive by giving the most general, non-specific advice, and then eventually they'll push you towards buying their info, essentially, and that's their business model. Giving super general advice, spamming content, getting you to believe that shadow tasks are the actual work. Now, what I mean by this is they will always pivot the need to be constantly motivated, the need to be this character, like the kickboxer. He is the most exaggerated character. I'm not saying he's not like that in real life, but the person he does portray online is like so masculine, so motivated, so intense, Luke Belmar, so philosophical. Oh, he never eats the wrong food. He's so clean. He's so anti-matrix. He's so out of the system. He's perfect. Iman Gadzi, he's so professional. He's so proper. He's so precise. He's so polite. No. They go like they hyperfixate on this character that they want, and then they build it. They become it on the videos, and then you believe that if you're not that, you're no one. You're not successful. You can't be successful without being that, which then pushes you to buy their info, because to be like them, you need to buy their info because you can't do it on your own. I.e., you know what I'm saying, their products that I'm not going to rip because I don't want to, you know what I'm saying. This is nothing against them. It's just eye-opening experience. I already knew this anyway, but I still sometimes consume the content because I believe that there are lessons there. But moving on to the point, sorry, this is all over the place, but they give really general advice, never specific, never actionable, they never tell you what they're doing. Oh yeah, I'm doing the work. What work are you doing, mate? Selling info is what work they're doing. But what I realised from watching podcasts from, what's his name now? Brett Malinowski. So he's in WAP, and he interviews like other WAP founders, other WAP guys. He also interviews like founders, business owners, real business owners that are building real businesses. Not that info isn't a business, but it's kind of like in its own niche. Like, it's so different to everything else. But from him interviewing and podcasting with these somewhat real founders, they talk about the specifics. They talk about the actual habits, the actual routine, step by step, what they are actually doing in a day, what makes them feel good, their philosophies, shit that they're building, shit that they've built, proof, action, knowledge, like specific, fine stuff. And they're just like scatty, autistic kids that are like 25 and they've built like $1 billion company, or 25 and they've ran up a couple hundred M. And when you compare the two, the info guys and then the real guys, like these guys will have like 5-6K on Insta, but they'll be spitting the most facts on a podcast you've ever seen. And it'll be like actionable stuff that you take away and go, oh my God, my life's just changed because of this perspective. Whereas the info guys, it's like, you've given me a taste of something that is kind of nothing, and if I want to find out more, I've got to buy your course. And I've realised like my whole up into like the escape route, the solo route, I've been consuming all of the info guys stuff, which has skewed my perspective of what building a company is and what building a business is and what building to create this escape actually is, in comparison to the founders who are telling me what it actually is, what it actually takes, the work that you actually need to do. And this was just an unlock from me today or yesterday, because I watched a podcast with that Brett. I really recommend watching it. It's recently come out. I don't know what the guy's name is now. His name is Sam. Just go on his YouTube channel, Sam. The thumbnail is like 800M, something WAP. And it's just changed the game for me, because I've realised I've just been stuck. I think you could be stuck as well, because I was, and I know that if you're similar to me, then you might be as well. Fuck these info guys off. Follow real founders, real people that are creating on the back of something that they've already created, rather than just creating just to create to sell you on info. Do you know what I'm saying? Because I don't think you're ever going to get anywhere truly from that. There are successful people that make money from the info guys, but you need like a real person, like a real mentor who's actually in the game, and then they mentor off the back of it. Do you know what I'm saying? They've done the thing first, then they're mentoring, rather than the mentoring and then saying that they're doing the thing. So I'm going to pivot towards watching a lot more content and consuming a lot more knowledge from real founders like that, who are actually in the midst of it, rather than just creating content and selling info. And then they're just being really basic, they're just dragging topics out that just aren't even anything. They just regurgitate the same shit all the time. I'm sorry if I'm regurgitating, but they just always say like, oh, you need to work so hard. Hard on what though? How do I work hard? What is working hard look like? They act like you need to be like depressed whilst working all the time. And these other founders are like focusing around being happy whilst working so that they create the most work. You should be sleeping like 3 hours a night, mate. You should never sleep, mate, because you're on the come up. Like, no, bro, like you should get 8 hours a night and you should feel good, and you should do all of the things that make you feel good so that you do the work easiest. That's always been my philosophy, but I've always skewed off of that path because I've been drawn in by the other guys, the info space guys, that are just kind of like telling me to brute force it in a certain way. And I'm like, oh, maybe my ways are wrong. I need to think like them. But then this new podcast from the actual founders that I've been watching has made me realize more so that actually I need to go with my philosophy, because that's what makes me work the best. And that's what's going to make me most effective, is by feeling the best, so I can do the work the easiest, and so I can perform at the best level. Oh, car's pulled up. Who is it? Oh, it's Jane from the running club, and she's done a U-turn because I'm just really threatening and I'm just a youth. Let's see if she actually turns around. If she spins it because I'm sitting in the car, that's pretty rad. Jane's parked up. We've just made eye contact. That's hella fucking rude. When I was younger, I used to be so scatty and autistic, and I've been chasing that state of mind ever since I was younger, because I feel like, and you can maybe relate, I used to be so hyper-focused and so like energetic and dopamine fueled, but then when I went into high school, I kind of dumbed myself down to fit in with the crowd and lowered my IQ so that I could be relatable and so that I would be understood. And then now I'm pivoting towards, why the fuck did I just do that to fit into social norms and to climb the social ladder, when instead I just should have kept that scatty autism, because then I'd be able to build way harder. If I didn't care about socializing and social cues and all of this niche social stuff that you have to keep up with to be understood or to be liked, I think I would be way more signal and way less noise. Because at the moment, I really go off the path quite easily. I don't know if you can relate to this, but I'm so easily like influenced by other people. Like I am and I'm not, as we are, the duality of man and such. But if my mates tell me to go out, like, oh, I probably then that seed's planted in my head, and then it grows and it grows, and then you go out, don't you? Even if you're not doing anything bad, you're still going out with your mates. And sounds bad, but if you're trying to go hard, it's dead time. It really is dead time. And from listening and watching these high performers, like, I don't really think you have time to have dead time in your day. Like this guy's day that I was watching from start to finish was like, he had everything planned. Like, this is very general because I don't remember his exact routine, but it was like, fucking hell, what was it? Wake up, chug loads of water, brush his teeth, meditate, work out, meditate again, have a specific like juice and coffee or whatever, go to the office and work. Like, they work at the WAP office. After he's done that, crank out another meditation, do his night routine, boom, read, turn off his phone, low light, fucking no blue light, all of this, all of that, boom, wake up, go again. Like, he has an 8 sleep mattress. And he said specifically when he wakes up, his 8 sleep mattress vibrates to wake him up, let's say at 8:59. It's not, but it's like a certain time, plus 8 hours from whenever he goes to bed. He wakes up between 5:45 and 10 a.m. every day, because he gets 8 hours regardless of what happens. 1 minute, the 8 sleep mattress will go off. Then a minute later, his WAP band is scheduled to vibrate. So he knows that if he doesn't get out of his room before the WAP band vibrates, he'll have a shit day. And he says, no, I have to. Like, I've A/B tested. And what A/B testing is, you try one thing, see if it works, then you try another thing, then see if that thing stops working, and then this thing works better, and then you like test with your body or with anything. And he said he's A/B tested so many productivity hacks, so many things that helps him be positive and productive and not crash. And he said like no sugar, certain foods that he eats, do you know what I'm saying? Certain time that he waits before he eats, getting out of his room a minute into the day, because otherwise he'll have a shit day. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, he's really fine-tuned it, and he's only 28 or something. And it kind of inspires me to be that scatty as well, and that fine-tuned, because then there's no room for anything else. If you make no room for anything else, then anything else won't come in, because then you'll have to sacrifice on your routine. And there'll be elements of your day that you'll have to sacrifice on, and you won't want to do that because they'll be really important to you, and you know that they work. So I'm going to try to do that. I'll keep you in the loop, but it's going to be quite difficult because my mates want to see me, and I do want to see them as well. And I've got like stuff coming up that I've got to do that isn't the routine. like going to the go-karting with the TTC meet-up and shit, and then the paintballing. But that's only one day. And if I do all my work, go to that, go straight back, then there should be no issue at all. He has a partner as well. That's the opposite to him. He has a partner, his name's Stephen, I think he said. And Stephen doesn't need to do any routine. He just does the work. And then he just turns up and he's like, done, you know what I'm saying? And you could be like that as well. You could be listening to me going, all of that routine and that specific, and I don't need that, I'll just do the work. And if you can, fair play. But you kind of got to hold yourself accountable and saying like, am I doing the work though? I've said I can do the work and I don't need to do all this jazz, but am I even doing the work? And if you are, fair play, and you don't need the routine, but maybe you should try the routine stuff and the specific stuff and the cold showers and the meditating and the certain supplements and the caffeine at the right time and the food at the right time and the hydration and the electrolytes and the mindfulness and the journaling and the task list and maybe you should try it, because if whatever you've got going on right now isn't working, that could raise your vibration, give you more opportunity, make you more lucky, make you more positive, make you want to do the work more, make you more creative. Never know. Or you could be that guy that does the work. I'm not one of those guys. Cole, he's one of those guys. Well, so he says. I don't know. Obviously, like, it's impossible to know how much someone is cranking, you know what I'm saying, and what they feel and stuff. And it's impossible to know if he didn't have the routine, if it wouldn't positively benefit him. But he says he's one of those guys, and there are guys like that, where you don't need to do all of the extracurricular bullshit to do the work. Fair play. I don't think I'm one of those guys, to be fair. I think my dopamine receptors are really sensitive. I think I'm really easily overstimulated. I'm really easily brought off the center, and in order for me to be centered, I need good people around me, positive vibes all the time, no negativity at all, no distractions at all, because once those seeds get planted in my head, they grow and they grow, and then I end up doing acts of degeneracy, and then that brings you off the path, and then that overstimulates me and it fucks my dopamine and it makes me less motivated, and then I don't want to do the work as much, and then I have to force myself to do the work, and then you have to kickstart the momentum again, and then the work's bad quality, and oh my god. All of it, bro. All of it. But that's the game. Doing this is like Elon Musk says. He's like, it's like growing a business or doing an entrepreneur or starting your own thing or doing a side hustle or whatever it is. It's like eating shards of glass every day, because it is. There's always new problems. There's always new challenges that you face with yourself or with the business. But I want to get to a point where there's only problems with my business and what I'm growing and what I'm trying to do, rather than with myself. Because most of the problems that I come into at the moment is just with me. Like, it's me that's not doing the work, or it's me holding myself back. It's not like, we can grow more when we solve this problem or when we figure this out. It's more like we can grow when BERG figures out how to push past his mental barriers, or when BERG figures out how to finally stop being a lazy prick all the time, you know what I'm saying? Or to my standard of what a lazy is. Or when BERG figures out how to be more productive. It's like the barrier to entry is me, and I know that, and it really frustrates me because it's nobody else's fault but mine. So I need to lock in, really. And I know I always say I need to lock in, and I do level up every time, but then there's a new standard. It's like, I can lock in even more. If I locked in that easily, like, surely I'm not locking in then. So there's always that bar that's getting raised, which is actually, it's fine. But yeah, that's what I wanted to speak about today. I just wanted to share that with you. Try not to get caught off guard by the people just selling you courses. They could be giving you some good information, but it's unlikely if it's general. Try to look for those people that give you really specific advice, because usually when they give you specific advice, it means they've used that specific advice. And like, when you watch that podcast that I just told you to watch, like, look how excited that guy gets. He gets excited about talking about the niche shit that he did to come up, like the niche little sales tactics of how they got people on board to WAP. And they tell the story so specifically. Avoid people that tell the story so generally. Like, yeah, I just built the business and got sales, bro, and then it just kind of worked. Or like, what did you do? Did you message this guy? And then this guy gave you a link to this guy, and then they referred you. And then when you got that referral, you managed affiliates. And then when you managed affiliates, you gave them this % share. And then, some people started snaking you, so you had to give an incentive not to snake you. And then when you built up to this certain revenue, you invested this amount of money into ads. And then ads didn't work. But what did work was, do you know what I'm saying? Like, if someone's doing that, they probably did the thing. But if someone's going, like, for traders, for instance, I can spot it from a mile away. Yeah, so, bro, like, tell me your journey, bro. Like, yeah, so I just kind of learned from this guy and then just kind of did it, bro. And then I just turned profitable, and then just passed some challenges and got some payouts, and then that's where we are now. I'm like, oh, right, okay. Or is it like, oh, bro, first I tried this 1-to-1, and then I tried break even, and then, I tried this firm, but I got scammed, and then I was putting in this amount of money, but I kept over risking, and then what I realised was, in order for me to follow my plan, I had to get an auto journaling software so that I could face my problems face on instead of deleting them from my journal, because every time I'd break my plan, I would delete them off my journal, so then I would just buy a new funded account, and it was a fresh start straight away. And what size accounts were you buying? I was buying 100Ks of FTMO, or How often were you buying them? Oh, mate, I was probably spending like $2,000 a month. What strategy were you trading at the time? Oh, I went to do 1 to 3 and then I was doing 1 to 1 and then, oh, do you know what I'm saying? Because if they can't do that, I don't think they either don't love it enough, they're trying to be cool, or they didn't do it. Do you know what I'm saying? So with that all done and said, I'm going to head back. I've grabbed my water now. Going to crank out some stuff that I'm working on and see if I can have the best day ever. Everything you need to know is in the description, boys, as per usual. Peace, love and unity. If you want to live trade with me, look in the description. Nothing else needs to be said. I can teach you how to trade. You can live trade with me alongside so you know what trades to take. It's not signals, mate. It's learning. Education. Peace out. Comment if you're from the TTC below.